Hey guys, it's the Fort Worth Glock guy, and I'm here with the Fort Worth Colt guy here.
Yep.
And we are driving, and I thought I would kind of do a unprompted, unscripted little EDC discussion, because Mr. Fort Worth Colt guy here is trying to get into, using the EDC stuff a little bit more. He's been actually carrying a knife. Do you have it with you today?
I actually do.
All right. So he's actually been, making an effort to, carry some useful day-to-day items. And I brought along a little bag of common EDC items that I'm going to give him. And I'm going to let him kind of pick through the bag and ask questions about it. If there's something that, if he's interested in it, if he wants to ask me, okay, I'm interested in this, but what would I use it for? What do you use it for? And how frequently do you use it? So anyways, I'm going to give him this bag of EDC goodies, and I'm going to let him kind of pick through them.
Wow.
So these are going to be his. I'm giving it to him.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
And if during this little exploration of EDC items, if there's something that he's looking through the bag and says, I don't see a use, I don't see me ever using this, then you can just give it back to me. Okay? So I want you to just kind of pick through there.
All right.
Look and see. Maybe hold it up to the camera, show, so what you're looking at. These are all things that I've used, and I've, either gotten something to replace them, so they just kind of sit in a drawer. So I thought I would put them to use. So I'm going to give them to you.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'm looking here is this Leatherman Micra. I think it is.
Yeah.
The Leatherman Micra. So is that like, it's like a little multi-tool kind of scissor cutter kind of thing? I like that.
So
tweezers. It's kind of funny, since I've been carrying the knife more often, I'm actually finding situations where I might just use my bare hands to open something, or need to fix something, and I'll just go look for a tool. In fact, yesterday I was at work, and I needed a small tool to fix an instrument that I was working on, and I had to go dig through a toolbox, and I still didn't find the item that I needed.
Right.
So having a little thing like this would be really awesome.
What I've graduated towards is the Leatherman, the Squirt, and I know you make fun of that.
The name. Anything called the Squirt.
The one that has the pliers on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I've graduated away from the scissors. But the scissors are still pretty handy. If you're just opening up a box or a package or something, the scissors come in handy too. But for what I use them for, I find the pliers a little bit more handy, which is kind of why I've graduated away from that.
Yeah.
But I figured to have a little multi-tool with a few little accessories on it, I thought awesome. You might be interested in that.
Absolutely. And then of course we got the
that's the Spyderco Bug.
The Bug.
Yeah, that is the one that I kept on my keychain for a long time, and I still have it on mine. So
so it's the exact same.
That's the exact same thing.
Wow.
So, and again, that's just, it's small, it goes on your keychains, you don't even notice that they're there, and it's nice to have,
I do have a question though about it. And of course you know more about the laws than I do, because of what I do for a living.
Right.
Is this considered a weapon? Is this a no-go in sensitive areas?
It's potentially could be. Now, concealed, in your pocket, it's never been an issue for me. I have had that thing confiscated from Six Flags when I went there. It was on my keychain. I just forgot it was there, and they actually took it away from me, and they put it in a holding cell. And then when I left, I got to go pick it up. So it is sensitive when you're going through like metal detectors and that kind of thing. Now with the new TSA rules, through airport security, I think that does pass TSA.
Standards. Really.
Yeah.
Is this less than an inch or something?
It's an inch. I forget what the new standard is, but it's the length and then the width of the blade. It does fit TSA standards, and that's just kind of what I go by, And so I don't think that it would be too big of an issue. Most people would not view that as a threat, by any means, which is why I keep one on my keychain. So that's another little keychain flashlight. Like I've got one here. It's just a different style.
It's an Energizer. I don't know if it has a name or not.
No.
But
I think it's called the Micro.
The Micro.
Yeah.
Well, you sold me on one of these last week when you and I were out and about, and we're in that place where we needed the light to go turn on the accessories. And I thought it was kind of neat, and I was impressed with how bright these little, I guess, keychain flashlights can be. I guess with the modern LED technology.
Right.
So absolutely, I will definitely.
And that's another thing that, I just have it on my keychain. So I just have these two items: flashlight and a little cutting tool. That's what I keep in my keychains.
And this is a twisty.
Yeah. I know you're more of a fan of
the push button.
But for keychain purpose, I think
it works well, and I like how tight it is, and that it's not loose. I've had twisty flashlights before, and if I don't pay attention to it, the cap will fall off. So that's nice and tight, and I don't think like that's going to come off. So that is awesome. Well, thank you very much.
And it's of course you don't have to keep it on here, but I'm giving him an S beater too, because these I love these things to keep all of these hooked, and you can just take it off if you don't want it on your keychain. You can just take it off. So that's another EDC item, the S beater.
All right, and then we got another.
It's another smaller flashlight. It's a AA flashlight, and this one I know you like the clicky.
I do. I love the clicky.
And this is a Smith & Wesson, so it matches your blade.
It does.
That you have.
Look at that.
So that I was very conscious of that. So
let me get that out. See,
Smith & Wesson.
So it's a nice. Let's see if I can get this in.
Let me step on the brakes real quick.
There we go. So this is going to match that really well. Has the Smith & Wesson logo on it.
Yeah, and that's a AA flashlight. They make smaller ones, of course, but that one's really bright. I don't know what the brightness is on it, but it's pretty bright. Especially in a dark situation, it's way brighter than that little keychain flashlight.
Next up, we got a knife. I see it has the assist.
That's called a flipper.
A flipper. Okay.
Yeah,
like a flipping assist. I had no idea.
The assist is when there's a spring inside of it, and you just touch it, and it flies open itself.
Oh, okay.
So, but this one, I'm giving you this one because I know your Smith & Wesson is a little bit bigger, and I wanted to give you one that was a little bit smaller in case you wanted to not be quite so obvious, with the blade. And I'm giving you all black items, if you notice, to be very tactical, because I know you're very tactical. So this is a flipper design. The way you work it is some people sweep like this, and it doesn't quite open all the way. If you put pressure on it like this, and then kind of pull down, then it'll flick open.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then you just push that down. Hey, this actually has a manual safety. You have to pull this, and then push that down.
Oh, that's it.
So it's not going to lock open, or it's not going to fold open on you. So you have to practice that. And that is, I've been working on that one. That one's extremely sharp.
Oh, really?
It's really sharp. Now, it's not the highest quality, but I think for everyday kind of purposes, it would be perfect.
Well, for what I would use it for,
and for what you would use it for, it'd be perfect too. So
I don't get in all the knife fights like you do.
No.
And I guess finally,
this is probably the most. If you could only have one knife, probably the Victorinox of any style, and this is just a small classic. it's the most useful little thing to have on you, because it's a little bit of a knife, a little bit of a multi-tool, and you know, that one's extremely small. So I mean, that would be, you could throw that in your pocket and not carry the multi-tool and your knife, and you would still have a knife and, you know, some different little items that you use for daily purposes. So,
well, I can definitely find a use for all these items now that as I said, I've always kind of joked about it, but now I'm consciously trying to be a better EDC carrier, shall I say. And all of these items will definitely find their way into my daily carry and rotation, and I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. It's a big surprise. You're very kind. So I definitely made out like a bandit today.
And I know those are all, I mean, everything has its own little purpose, of course. You know, with EDC, sometimes you want a big knife, sometimes you want a small knife, sometimes you don't want to carry, you know, a bunch of stuff, you know, so you might, you know, the variety is what's nice about having different EDC items and different knives and different flashlights. And that's what's kind of addicting about it is, you know, you start thinking about, oh, you know, if this flashlight were just a little bit smaller, or this knife was just a little bit bigger, and then you start, you know, exploring and seeing all the other different items that people have, and you know, it's definitely an addicting little.
Well, it's just like an extension of gun collecting.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
and you don't have any kind of addiction to that.
No,
so
no,
there's no worries there.
Absolutely not. I mean,
so
I'm glad that I have my one firearm, and it's too bad I lost all the other ones in that big boating accident. But you know.
So, anyways, you know, I'm gonna let you use those things for a while. If you decide, you know, after a while, you know, I never carry this, I don't have any purpose for it, and you know, you can give it back if you find it useful, and then, you know, those are yours to keep. So, anyways, just wanted to kind of give you a kickstart into the EDC world.
Well, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
All right, Fort Worth Glock Guy
and the Fort Worth Colt Guy.
We're out of here.